Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. My co-host is back after a bit of a break, and today we'll be discussing the much-awaited Asia Cup. It's been a year since India-Pakistan played, and I think that's why we're very excited for this tournament. Even though it's also a build-up to the World Cup, but an India-Pakistan occasion is a rare occasion, and anytime they play now, we're going to make the most of it. And I think
Also a build up to the World Cup, but India
discussing
Pakistan
both
equation
teams,
is a rare.
discussing the matchups, the squads have been announced. The predicted in this particular episode, we'll go through the predicted 11s as well. Plenty to talk about. Don, first of all, how are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you so much. Just enjoying a bit of cricket. The Commonwealth Games was a bit of a heartbreak. I think I talked to you just before that, and then the 100 is going on. It took a bit of time to get started, but there was a 100 yesterday. First 100 of the 100 ever from Will Smith. That was a sensational innings.
Yep.
A bit of New Zealand West Indies going on as well, and I think Pakistan Netherlands starting next week. India Zimbabwe, but all eyes are on that Asia Cup. But yeah,
Yeah. There's also Afghanistan and Ireland playing right now as
Ireland,
well,
yeah,
but
Ireland smashing it right now.
smashing it. Rashid Khan's unable to pick up wickets, man. Since he left the Sunrisers, is not a same bowler. I had to throw
That's
that in there. Let's get going to the real stuff. Yeah, but I think some good cricket. Commonwealth Games, like you said, was an extreme heartbreaker. I really thought Kaur would, Harmanpreet would actually get us through the line, but
yeah.
not to be. But I think a pretty remarkable achievement to even get the silver medal. I think it's pretty good on them. I think keep continuing to challenge, and Australia is the side to beat. So hopefully they can get to that point. But yeah, I think overall I think a lot of cricket, like you said, New Zealand and West Indies also. That Shimron Hetmeyer catch was something else. Like how
Oh,
can you do that one handed just off the left hand, just pick it up like that? And
liar.
I think yeah, I think I felt like I feel like New Zealand, West Indies also that kind of a team it seemed like they're individually pretty solid players, but they are not able to gel as a team. So a little bit more of work left for them. I think. The World Cup will be a big test for them. I think that they'll enjoy those pitches because they'll be like a little bit quicker and they'll come onto the bat. So looking forward to seeing a lot of cricket. But yeah, let's start on the Asia Cup. That's the reason for this specific
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah, 100%. Before I get to the Asia Cup, I'll give you like 30 seconds if you can just give me your verdict on Trent Bolt and leaving the New Zealand contract.
I mean, it's going to happen, right? It is what it is. Like a lot of people are going to be that way. It's not the first that has taken this route. With different kinds of situations. Like for example, someone like a Ben Stokes and someone like a Quinton de Kock have retired from their international formats just to focus on a specific white ball format. Ben Stokes had very different situation. He with England, I think even with the red ball captain, you get a lot of plaudits, you get a lot of money, you get a lot of that. There's a lot of things that are attached to it, which is nice for them. So for Stokes, it's fine, but for like someone like a Quinton de Kock or for someone like a Trent Bolt, uh, you know, quitting red ball to focus on their white ball game is probably that, and that's where the money is. That's where the lucrative business is right now. In the next 5-7 years, I think a lot more players are going to do that. I think less has been talked about it with West Indies. It started from Sunil Narayan days, almost 5-6 years back, and no one really talks about that as much because even the big West Indian players have always focused on playing franchise cricket more than West Indies. Also, the West Indies board was an issue and everything, but that kind of started off. Now it's genuine decisions are being taken, and I think you can't really blame them. The money, if they're going where the money is, they have shorter career spans, and they have to make the most of it.
Yeah, and I think for me, I started getting a hit of it. When Sky Sports did like that 40-minute discussion when it was raining between the England South Africa. One day, I think it was raining, and Ravi Shastri, Mike Catherine, these guys started doing the discussion. I'm like, why are they discussing 40 minutes on Sky Sports about forgetting about ODIs, this and that? And then that South African T20 league, we heard about that, and then the Dubai T20 league. Apparently, that's going to be the second biggest league. And then the Trent Bolt thing for me now just quickened the process. I think as we go now, especially after the T20 World Cup, we're going to see more and more of these players just playing leagues. And I think in a few years' time, it's going to be league cricket over international cricket. And international, you'll have your slots, and one day will probably not be there. And there's a reason for these discussions happening, whether it's in news channels, whether it's on live broadcast, or even just on podcasts. Like, there's a reason why these are happening. I think this is the shift. I think this is the new discourse, and people are serious about this. It's not just like, oh, let's talk about it. They actually want to move to this kind of model, basically.
Yeah, and that's the model that's a revenue generating model. Everyone is making money off of it, so then more and more people are going to go that route, and there's nothing that's going to stop it. Like you said, just the process has been quickened. The teams like Mumbai Indians, who's already like they put tons of money into the South African side, they put tons of money
MI
into their
Cape Town.
the yeah, MI Cape Town, MI Emirates. They've put in a tons of money, so they will want a return on that investment, and they've gone in
Yeah.
and bought people like Brabada, Livingston, Rashid Khan,
Gosh.
Deval Brevis. So that's just like a
Yeah.
fantastic five players that they've bought, and so they want them. They're putting that kind of investment, so they want that return on investment. So I think it's just a
Yeah.
matter of time before it's going to become like the most sought out kind of situation. I think the franchise cricket for about 7-8 months in the year, and then you do 3 months of India versus Australia, India versus Pakistan, kind of like, or any big leagues or the Ashes or something like that, where you kind of just focus on a certain series, and the rest of the time you're playing franchise cricket. That's what's going to happen.
And you have World Cup in the summer. That's what's going to happen once in
Right.
3-4 years.
Yeah.
Abu Bakar's in the house saying hi, people. Long time, bro. Hope you're doing well. Vinay's in the house. What's up, buddy? What about Bolt? That's what we just discussed, Vinay. So just rewind it to 3 minutes, and that's what we just discussed about Trent Bolt. And basically, we mentioned Don gave his thoughts on the situation and everything. So you can rewind that. But now we're going to talk about the Asia Cup. We're going to talk about India. We're going to talk about Pakistan. First, we'll discuss India. Don, you're happy with the squad, and once you tell me how happy you are, you can go with the predicted 11 as well.
I think your favorite, like my favorite word is inculcate. Your favorite word is horses for courses. That's what they've gone with. With the Asia Cup, they've gone with that spin heavy attack of 4 or 5 spinners that is in the side. They've gone only with 3 fast bowlers, which is not a surprise to me, very honestly. Bumrah missing out is big news, but I think apart from that, everything else is pretty standard and pretty straightforward for them. Big news is KL is ready to play, and he will be playing the Zimbabwe series, so he'll be kind of
He
getting
suddenly
in the
got
thick
into
of
the
it.
Zimbabwe squad. He wasn't there before, right? He's now in the
Yes,
Zimbabwe squad.
and
Yeah.
I think as of today, I think they added him as a 16 member, and he
Yeah.
will be captaining that side. So the KL Rahul is when he's ready to play, he will be given that shot. So it's going to be a tricky one. I think there's going to be a headache for the Indian selectors or the Indian management in Rahul Dravid to pick 11, because I think there's about 12, 13 players that have done pretty well over the past few months. So to pick 11 out of that will be interesting. And I think a few of them pick themselves, but I think there's one or two slots that might go in for a little bit of a I guess a tug of war with someone like Dinesh Karthik to play, or like a KL Rahul or a Rishabh Pant to play. Those are going to be tricky situations. But I think overall, I think this is a good headache to have. I think they'll be happy with the side. I think they'll go spin heavy. I think they'll go with 3 spinners and 2 fast bowlers, and Hardik Pandya as the 6th bowler, and then fill it up with the batsman. I think it's a good squad. I think they have pretty much all it takes to go out in there and win it. It's not going to be easy because Sri Lanka has good spinning tracks. Pakistan on their day can be fantastic. Rashid Khan with the Afghanis can spin a web with Mujib,
That's the
with
team.
Nabi
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Those are the situations. So it's going to be an interesting Asia Cup. It's not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. So it's going to be fun. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, Abu Bakr is asking Kohli कब फॉर्म में आ रहा वापस $1 million question.
भाई अपने
Don,
को
you can say
मालूम रहता है तो अपने को मालूम
billionaires of
रहता
the
है तो but it's very important to think of me you Musti me you and Punter are talking about this offline in our group. It's about the importance of that Kohli is brought not only to cricket but just to the sporting world in general. Him backing all these Commonwealth sport these sports football teams, these runners, he going and talking to them, going out of the way to kind of help them, sponsor them in ways. Those are remarkable achievements of a Virat Kohli. I know I can talking like a fanboy, but outside of cricket only, I know he hasn't scored a 20 century since 2019, and that's probably the most important thing as a cricketer. But just the way he's evolved, and I think the way he's brought in Indian cricket, Indian sport into the world frame with the Commonwealth Games being so good is, I think, a remarkable achievement. I think I'm digressing from the topic of when will he come into form, because I honestly don't know, but
This is
he's done a lot.
officially, you've lost confidence in officially. Everything you said is correct, but this is the first time you didn't say the next match. I thought you were going to say 28th August against
Then
Pakistan in
everyone
Dubai. I
said,
thought
then
that
you,
was
punter, Ashish, everyone shouting at me saying that I'm the one who's
even
putting.
everybody says, like, including myself, to be fair, anybody, even whether it's us or even if it's Virender Sehwag, I think everyone says it's the next game. Pakka hi marenga ye series mein, pakka yahi match mein marenga. But I think now he's had that break. Now he's had that. I think he had a break after the IPL. To be very fair with you, before that England tour, he had a
Yeah.
break. Then he had that England tour, didn't do too well. Then he had that break. Now it's going to be a 1 month break between that England tour and the start of the Asia Cup.
Yeah.
1 month, 5 weeks, I think. 1 month and a week. So now he's fresh. I don't think there's any excuses. I would say that if he doesn't get into form in this Asia Cup, the World Cup, there might be a doubt, bro, for him to play in the 11.
True.
He'll go to the World Cup. He'll go to the World Cup, but there might be a slight doubt. But I think that he might get a couple of 50s in this Asia Cup.
See, my thing is, you have, let's say, for example, like when we talk about the predicted 11, I'll bring up a pretty important situation where someone like a Rishabh Pant is in the form of his life, someone like a DK is in the form of his life. How are you going to warrant a position for an not inconsistent, out of form Virat over someone who's consistently performing? So that's the question I think a lot of people are starting to ask.
Yeah.
I at any stretch of the imagination, for me, until the World Cup, he makes the 11 even before Rohit Sharma does, for me personally, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that he's that kind of a player.
You have to make a decision depending on his results on the pitch, because the world we live in is very cruel. If you don't pick him, you're going to say, how did you go without Kohli? You're going to get criticized. If you do pick him, he doesn't perform, say, how did you go with him when he's out of form? So you have to take a call.
Business.
Yeah, you just have to take a call, see his form in the Asia Cup, and then you take the call. I personally feel that he's had a good break now. He's fresh, and he should perform. I think he will perform. To be very honest with you, I'm actually very confident that he'll perform. If he doesn't, then his place is in doubt. It's as simple as that for me in the starting 11.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll go over the 11 and we can then talk a little bit more about how that pans out. So Rohit and KL to open, Virat at 3, Sky at 4, Hardik at 5. I'm not happy with Pant at 6, but I don't think that anywhere else you can play him. But because I think in a T20 game, someone like Rishabh Pant is wasted at number 6. I think a DK is a better option. But if I say DK, I think I'm going to get if I say DK, I'm going to get a lot of slack. So I'm going to go with Pant at 6, because I think it's unfair to not have Pant in your team. But I honestly believe Pant at 3 or 4 is a lot better than Pant at 6 in a T20 game. In a test match is a completely different ball game, right? But anyway, so Pant at 6, Jaddu at 7, Ash at 8, Bhuvi at 9, Arshdeep at 10, and Chahal at 11.
So you're going 3 spinners?
3 spinners, Ash, Jaddu, and Chahal.
My only concern is not about the starting 11, but the 15. I know Deepak Chahar is there in the 18, I think, or 17, but I would like him to be in the 15. The reason for that is that if Arshdeep gets hit and then you play Avish, he also gets hit, you have that extra bowler. Plus, I feel in UAE, this is the beginning of the season. Last time you played end of October, November, and you had 100 IPL games on those pitches, bang, 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 every single game. So it was a different scenario. I don't think it's going to be as... Of course, there will be turns, there will be a bit slow, but it won't be as slow as we saw in the last World Cup. And I feel that you can actually play 3 pace bowlers. And I actually feel left-arm pace bowlers. You saw in the beginning of the IPL in both editions in Dubai, Trent Bolt was outstanding, Nokia was outstanding, Rabada was outstanding. But they didn't have the same impact in India, but they did in Dubai. So that shows that Dubai pitches are conducive to pace, especially in the beginning. And at that time, I think the IPL started end of August, September as well, right? Beginning of September. So I just feel they're going one fast bowler short. I personally wanted to see Shami, but I don't mind even if it's Deepak Chahar or Shardul Thakur, whoever it is. I feel that the system you're going with, I personally would have gone Shami over Avish. Very simple. That's my personal opinion. But now that you've taken him, I would go with this kind of format. Go with 3.
The reason I'm going with the 3 spinners is because Hardik is your third fast bowler as well, right? So it gives you a good balance of 3 fast bowlers and 3 spinners to play your.
Which I agree for the 11, but I'm just talking about the overall squad.
Yeah, sure, absolutely, I completely agree.
And Hardik has his own issues. If he's not, I don't want to make him bowl 4 overs every game from now until the World Cup. I don't know if it's going to last. It's simple as that.
That's a good point, Hardik. Because of his back issues and everything, he want to be a little careful and don't use him if you don't want him to. That's actually a
Yeah,
good point.
that's why. But like, I mean, I made a different 15, but I actually considered like someone like a Venkatesh Iyer just because to give Hardik a break. But again, that's like, you're taking a guy not in form and everything like that. But
Yeah.
I just feel then take an extra fast bowler just to cover Hardik's overs. That's what I would do. But only time will tell, right? This is just a concern that I have because of the situation. But only time will tell. If it's turning, then this is a very strong team.
It's
Ashwin
a
on the
valid
power play.
concern. Yeah, that's why Ashwin, exactly. Ashwin gives you over or two in the power play. And then you have someone like a Chahal who comes in after the power play and really, bamboozles the batsman because he's been doing that well now. I do miss Kuldeep. I think Kuldeep was bowling very well, but they went in with Bishnoi over him. I think a left-arm Chinaman would have been a little bit better than a similar
100%
kind of.
agree, man. Kuldeep's my boy. I wish he was in the squad, and he's bowling brilliantly. He was, after Chahal, he was the best spinner for me in the IPL. That could be biased, but that's my opinion. And against the West Indies, he comes in, picks up 3 wickets for what, 12, 13 runs in his 4 overs. Outstanding bowling, and that flight is there, the control is there now, and he has that confidence. I would kept him in the squad for sure.
Yeah, it's a tough call. Everyone's been performing quite well. I think Ravi Bishnoi, to be fair to him, has also been performing well. He's getting a little predictable with his googlies. I think everyone's starting to understand that he's going to come in more than he's going to go out. I think he has to be a little bit more better for the variations, but I think I was being a little bit too harsh on him. I think he's been fantastic overall, if you think about it.
Yeah, 100%. Don, I would actually like to see Deepak Hooda bowl in the power play like instead of Ashwin because if you look at the other teams in Australia, you have Maxwell. In South Africa, you have Markram. I don't know. Pakistan had Imad Hossain. They don't have him now, but they had like a Hafiz, Shoaib Malik type. Those kind of bowlers. I felt that now they probably have a Nawaz, but yeah, these kind of bowlers, I think. Could be useful in the power play and they give you batting, but I understand where you're coming from. I can't argue with you and Ashwin. Just take a
me and Ashwin go a long way.
Yeah. A few comments. Vinay Singh, to be honest, if Kohli is in the team, teams are more focused on him and it could be better for the rest of the team.
It's actually a good point, because he brings that kind of level of the kind of plaudits go to him even if he goes well or going, the criticism,
the attention, and people are not focused on Surya Kumar Yadav and stuff.
Exactly. And then he's going to say Ben Stokes in the middle and everyone's going to focus on saying that, things like that will happen, and then everyone forgets about the other. Someone like a Sky or a KL can actually make the most of it and go out and score big runs, which is fair enough. Good point, Vinay.
Yeah, that's a good point. Tissue boxing Pant in T20s has been quite poor. Even in one days he was up until that 100, but I'll never count that guy out. He just has some.
That's the thing. See, he's almost become at a position where Virat Kohli is, right? Because you can't drop Rishabh Pant because he has the ability to change the game. Not many players come out like that, So that's why I said, even if I personally don't like Pant at 6 in a T20 game, but I'll pick him over anybody else because he has that ability to change the game.
And I noticed Pant is someone who likes to. I think he'll be useful in the power play. That's why
That's why I like that opening option. Yeah, but then if KL's back, I think KL does his due diligence over there.
Yeah, it's just that I think he likes the fielders in, try to play the sky shots, and also he takes his time a bit at times in one days. I felt like that innings he played against England was outstanding. After that, like he doesn't need to prove himself. I just feel in T20s he's maybe not been as effective, but you can never count him out. He's a match winner. And honestly, Dinesh Karthik for me hasn't done as much as I thought he would. Yes, he had an amazing IPL, but I have my doubts about him. I feel that he's past his prime, and I don't know if he can perform on that level on a consistent basis in every single game, especially high-pressure games. I don't know. Yeah, he's played a couple of games, one against South Africa, but the England series is pretty poor. One game, I think, in the one days he batted well, but apart from that, he was.
Okay. What हर game expect कर रहे क्या आप क्या सोच रहे?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, game expect nahi karu, but like I don't think I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know.
I know. Sometimes you have these opinions that I don't agree with.
Yeah, there's another opinion that we disagree on. But thoughts on Dravid as coach till now? Abubakar Singh seen some interesting stuff like Sky Pant opening. Don. I honestly like I think there's a lot of Rohit Sharma involved as well. I like the way Rohit Sharma has been captaining, and also the way Kohli played. It shows that Kohli is bought into Rohit Sharma's captaincy. That's what I feel. I'm not saying it I'm not a world peace kind of talker or initiator like that. If there's any issues, we'll say straight away there's an issue between these two. But I think Virat Kohli has bought into the idea of Rohit Sharma as captain because those 2 shots he played against England in that second T20 when Sky hit 100, right? One, it showed me clearly that this guy has been given orders by the captain that you have to just go and hit. So
and beautiful straight down 6. That was honestly that moment when he hit that straight down 6. I thought this is his day, and then next ball he goes, I gets out.
Yeah. So I think he
But yeah,
got it.
he has bought into the idea 100%. I think everyone has bought into the idea very well. And I think what Rahul Dravid's start was, it was a little poor when you started like have some issues and everything. But I think he's changed that very quickly, and I think he's created a team that has about 12 to 15 good players that to choose from, and everyone's in decent form. Someone like a Deepak Huda will be upset to miss out on the 11. Someone like a Shreyas Iyer would be upset to miss out on the 15. Someone like an Ishan Kishan, hasn't been getting that many chances, but whenever he gets a chance, has been performing. Like Rituraj, or for that matter, Shubman Gill's performances have been good. There's a lot of players to choose from, which is good. We were having those issues of choosing a formidable 11, but I think he's created that, with finding a couple of finishers that are doing the job well, to bringing in bowlers who can bat and batsmen who can bowl. He's I think done a good fair amount of 18-20 players now to choose from as at all times, and that's always been good. And I think credit to Rohit Sharma to create that kind of a aura with his captaincy, and for Rahul Dravid to agree to that and set up and try to create the players that need to be available and get their mindsets ready and stuff like that. I think he's doing a lot of work one on one on the back end, which we don't see, and that's the style that Rahul Dravid always had.
Yep, Tissue Boxing wasn't a fan of Sky opening. Why make your best middle order batsman open? This is a very interesting point. I also like him at number 3-4. I think he is probably your best middle order batsman. I agree with that as well. But the reason why he was opening, I think, is just to have your options open. Rohit Sharma wants to have a backup plan, because I think him and Rahul, we don't know about their injury status. In IPL, it's 100%, but outside of IPL, it's not been that good, right? They've been absent in quite a few series, so I think just to have backup there, someone like a Surya Kumar, even a Kohli can be an option. So you don't need to think too much. You have like an opener there just as backup, and he performed as an opener. He
And
performed as
that's
an
the only
opener.
thing, yeah. That's the only thing they're looking for. Surya Kumar is not going to be your opener. He's going to be your
Yeah,
middle order mainstay.
order,
I
yeah.
think someone like a Pant or a Virat will probably take the opening spot anyway, even
Yeah.
if KL or Rohit miss out. Because I think it's just to have those, any player can play in any kind of position kind of situation. So we wanted to like just test it out.
Yeah.
But I think Surya Kumar needs no fielders in the ring. I think he's just too talented, a too sexier batsman to worry
Yeah.
about all those things.
But yeah, and also I think if you're that talented a batsman, it doesn't really matter where you bat. And the reason why I say that was I was so against Rohit Sharma opening batting in 2000, and when was it, 15 or 14?
Yeah.
Was it when Dhoni made him open? I'm like, why
Yeah.
the hell is you? I
I
had
think
the
it's
same
13
reaction.
with
Yeah,
Dhawan.
13 before the Champions Trophy. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah.
15 is way late. Yeah, like
Yeah.
way early, 2012, 13. Before that Champions Trophy, I said, why the hell is this guy opening? He has no foot movement. How are you going to do it? This, that. Then they went on to win Champions Trophy. Now Rohit Sharma is opening in Test matches also. So if you're a good batsman, if you're a class batsman, then you can bat anywhere. So yeah, I think that's my
I think the
opinion on that.
point about Sky that we've spoken about before as well, I think we've spoken about it in length, even offline, is that his problem is he has too much time and he has too many shots for one ball. Like, हर ball के लिए 2-3 shot मार सकता है आदमी. So that becomes a bit of a, yeah, exactly. So sometimes you see him like, going last second, changing his shot or something, and that's how he gets out.
Did you see the shot he hit over mid? Was it long on mid
Bro,
wicket?
he does it often, bro. That
And there was
flick
one he
and
hit
it just
over
goes
mid
over
off,
covers.
yeah, mid off covers in between that area. Oh, that
Some
was crazy.
beautiful shots. That I'll never forget those flicks, man. This is beautiful to watch. And he holds that post with one leg up. Too good.
Abu Bakr Singh, where is T20 World Cup? Australia? Yes, it's in Australia. It's in Australia. And Tissue Box is saying Pant played 50 plus mostly in the middle order and did nothing. Might as well try him as an opener. Pant is a sort of player right now. He's also he's in top form. At that time, he was still trying to make his way. There was a lot of comments about his weight. There's a lot of pressure on him. Now he's in a different kind of frame zone. That's why even in one days he's performed, right? I think wherever he plays, he will think. But I agree with you in terms of opening. He probably will make most of the power play. But if KL Rahul's fit, then you don't have an option. I think KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma are the openers. They've been opening all over the world whenever in the last few years. So I think that's your opening duo. And I think Rishabh Pant can play. He can float. I think you can rotate him and Hardik Pandya depending on left hand, right hand as well. So he can give you finishes. It just once it starts clicking, then Pant is someone who can bash it all over the place. And opposition teams will be wary of them as well.
I agree 100%. I think that Pant is too good a batsman to miss out.
Yeah, and Don, you want to just go through the Pakistan thing? I think we talked a lot
No,
about it
bro, you're
yesterday.
gonna do about the Pakistan.
Yeah, so
You're
you
gonna
can
talk
ask
about
me.
the Pakistan 11. Yeah. So can you give me the Pakistan 11
Yeah,
predicted
okay.
11?
Yeah, okay. So going with the Pakistan predicted 11, I completely lost it right now. But Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan opening. One down is Fakhar Zaman. Two down is Haider Ali. Three down is I think Khushdil. I'll go Khushdil. Fifth down Iftikhar Ahmad at number 6. Then Shadab, Mohammad Nawaz, Shaheen of Shah Afridi, uh, Haris Rauf, and my last bowler I would go Naseem Shah, but I think they will go Wasim Junior, who's bowled really
You,
well in the recent.
but you went to only one spinner, Shadab.
No, Nawaz is spinner, bro.
Nawaz,
Left arm.
Nawaz, Nawaz, and Shadab. Yeah. Okay.
So the reason why I went Nawaz is that he gives me the batting option as well. But if you want to go extra spinner, you take out Wasim, and then you can
You'll
go.
have
What's
to
his
take
name?
out Wasim and go with
You can
Noman
Usman
actually,
Khadir. You
or
can go
Qadir.
Usman
Yeah.
Khadir.
Yeah.
Yeah, Usman Khadir. No, but the thing is, there is no Fahim Ashraf in this team, in the squad.
And there's no, yeah, so there's no Fahim Ashraf, there's no Imad Wasim, so that you lose those uh, extra spinning options actually. So yeah, that's actually a good point. Imad
Abu
Wasim's
Bakr
very
said
upset.
Shoaib Malik होना है हमेशा Shoaib Malik जरूरी है in this kind of conditions. But
It actually
I think
works out well for them.
Haider Ali is very exciting prospect. He plays for Peshawar Zalmi, very good batsman, very good technical batsman, good timer of the ball. I think he just needs time though. He's not gonna, of course, like you can't have high expectations. Iftikhar Ahmad hitter kind of Khushdil has been performing recently, but that middle order is going to be an issue because you're again relying on your top three, Babar, Rizwan, and Fakhar. If they don't perform, then your middle order will be under a lot of pressure, and
Hyder
they don't
Ali
have
at 3 is an option. If Fakhar can't take it over, I think as eventually, because I think because of his technique and stuff like that, I think Hyder Ali is can go up a little bit more up with the order as well. So something to think about for them in the future.
Tissue boxing, I'll play Asif Ali. He was brilliant the last time around. Look, Asif Ali, he had that amazing. He hit those 4 sixes against Afghanistan, but unfortunately, that was his last good innings as well. It's been a year since he's performed.
So it's been
So
a
yeah,
year since that's happened now. Yes.
yeah. So you could go Asif Ali, but for now, I'm just going with the more informed Iftikhar Ahmad Khushdil. But yes, you can go Asif Ali. Like there's
Asif Ali is
no
a good
nothing like
finisher.
that.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
You can play him in
Pressure
that position, no
situation.
problem.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who was finishing games for Pakistan in the previous World Cup? Yes, it was Asif Ali.
Asif Ali.
It was Asif Ali. So yeah, you could go him instead of Iftikhar Ahmad. It makes sense. Like that's fine for me. Again, their bowling. Shaheen Shah Afridi has been injured. So he picked up an injury. According to reports, is the second test, but some people are saying in the first test against Sri Lanka. Now he's going to the Netherlands tour. He's not going to be the first two games, but the third one day they're going to check his fitness and they're going to play. I'm sorry,
That's
I'm
something
laughing.
that
But I
something
don't
that
know.
Pakistan would do.
I don't know why. If he's not fit, just rest him until the Asia Cup. And you're also saying that, but like I'm sure they have an academy over there where they can monitor his fitness and everything, right? Like in India, they have the NCA. I'm sure they have that.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's going to. Unless he's doing different type of therapy in Netherlands, I don't know. Netherlands is known for a few things, right? So maybe that helps with the injury. I don't know, but yeah, I don't understand why he's going to the Netherlands. So.
Creating
But
criticism, creating controversial statements are being said right now
yeah, I
on
don't know
the
why
track.
because I don't know why he's going to go to Holland. Thoughts on Hassan Ali being dropped? I think yes, about time. You have a lot of options in the Pakistan team. Naseem Shah, very exciting option. Again, I don't think he'll play the first game, but I would like to see him. I think he has that extra pace. Even if he gets hit, there will be times where even in Australia, that extra pace will always hurry batsmen. So he's
Yeah.
someone you can
I
always
don't
try.
I don't know why since yesterday Twitter has been going crazy when that Hassan Ali creating that celebration and holding his neck for that when he got injured with that
Yeah.
celebration. I don't know why Twitter has been sending. I've been seeing it a lot since the past couple of days. So I was just thinking about that, and it's funny you brought it up. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
But
agree
yeah,
that Hassan Ali. I think there are better options out there that they can try.
yeah, better options. I think. Look, this team for these conditions are set. For Australia, their middle order worries me a bit. I think in Australian conditions, will they be able to clear the ropes consistently? I'm not sure. Again, yes, they do have hitters there. If Iftikhar can hit, Khushdil can hit, Asif Ali can hit, but they don't have that same experience as other teams do. And again, even in the Asia Cup, I'm worried about that. And in terms of their bowling, if Shaheen is not 100% fit, then that's a worry, because those first 2 overs are lethal from Shaheen Shah Afridi. So he's going to be a very key bowler for them. And that's the thing with Pakistan. I think in that World Cup, they had everyone fit. They won most of the tosses. Everything went well. But if things don't go well, how do they react? That's going to be interesting to see.
Yep, I agree.
Abu Bakr Singh still seems like Pakistan depend on Babar and Rizwan a lot. Yeah, that's
100%. Top three.
And Babar,
Fakhar
honestly,
Zaman. Yeah.
for me, Babar Azam is the best batsman all format right now. Like all 3 formats, if you combine them, because in Test is a bit different. One day, like Test, I really like Root. One day you have different T20, but if you look at all 3 formats, the guy's performing all the time
consistently for a long time now. For a couple of years now, I think he's been very consistent, which is important.
Yeah, Don, if you laugh now, you have to give me $100. Ashish is asking, do you think Urvashi should take it easy with Rishabh Pant?
Bro, when you send, oh my God, we can't talk about that.
Listen, I'll give you my honest opinion on it. I don't think he gives 25 missed calls. He doesn't have that much time, bro. He's like, he has match in the morning. He has practice. He has different things. I don't think he has time to like sit in the lobby all night for a check.
Now with his current form, I think the tables have turned. It doesn't matter.
The tables are turned and the lobby is full of chicks. That's what's happening right now. I don't know. Like he's denied it. I think he's posted on Instagram as well something. So I think he's denied it. And it was a very funny, weird kind of situation. But if she's saying it, then yeah. She didn't take his name either. She said RP. It could be RP Singh. We don't know, right? It could be Rudra Pratap. It doesn't have to be Rishabh Pant. So yeah, we don't know who it is. So until we have concrete evidence, how can we say anything, right, Don?
Yep, agreed.
Yeah,
we can only speculate.
Yeah, and yeah. So Don, how are you looking at this Pakistan team? Your thoughts? I've given you my 11.
Yeah, I think it's a good start. Like you said, the middle order is a worry a little bit, but irrespective of whatever, Pakistan will always have some kind of worries that they'll come up with or whatever. But, this is a side that on their day can do fantastic wonders. It's just a matter of consistently pulling it through. And I still agree that I think they were the best side in the T20 World Cup last year, but they ended up losing to Australia, who ended up winning the tournament anyway. I think it's a matter of, pulling it together in the current situations, and they kind of lack that sometimes. And they don't have the personnel to be able to pull through that. And someone like some experience. I think more players are now starting to get more experience, and no doubt about that. But I still think that that's the kind of issue they might still fall into. Like in a knockout game, when the pressure is high, they tend to kind of falter, and that has been the case for them for a long time. When the pressure is not on them, they look fantastic, and when they start off well, they can continue to do well. But I think when the pressure is really high, they always falter.
Yeah, and it's about taking those catches at the right time. Not bowling those extras when not required. And also, like you said, Hassan Ali dropped that catch, but after that, the best bowler in the tournament can't get it with 3 sixes.
For 3 sixes, exactly. Not much you can do after that, right?
It was he just mentally lost it after he dropped the catch. Like, you have to be mentally stronger, and I think that goes for Babar Azam as well. I felt that he lacked captaincy in that tournament. I'll be very straightforward. I feel that Rizwan is a better captain. It's a controversial statement, but
Virat and Rohit ka situation all over again.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling. Exactly. I think spot on. You got it. That's what I feel. But again, Babar, no doubt, amazing, outstanding, best batsman right now. But captaincy is going to be tested again, and in pressure situations, like you said, you say young team, and there's a good mixture of young, and there is experience. In Rizwan is 30 now, Babar is 28, 29, so there's a decent mixture. So let's see how it goes. There's no Shoaib and Hafiz, so you don't have that level of experience. So it's going to be a bit different. Abu Bakr is asking your World Cup favorites. I think before we'll have to answer Asia Cup favorites, but yeah, you can go with the World Cup favorites.
I think both the favorites, India is right up there. I think they come into almost any tournament favorites nowadays. So they're always going to be there, there and thereabout. I have a good feeling about South Africa doing well in the World Cup. I have a good feeling about that. I think that they're doing. That's a side that might surprise you a little bit. I don't think they'll end up winning it, but I think that they might take it far, and they might surprise a few people over there. I think that's my dark horse going in, and my favorite will be India.
In the World Cup.
In the World Cup, yeah.
Yeah, World Cup, I think, again, for me, it'll
England, of course, will always
Australia, England, South Africa, India. I think these will be the 4 favorites, and it'll be a hopefully, it'll be an exciting one. But again, we're a bit far from the World Cup. The injuries we have to look at. There's going to be more games. We'll better understand the situation after the Asia Cup, and then Pakistan is playing England 7 T20s, India is playing Australia and South Africa 3 T20s each. So we'll have a better understanding at that time who's in form, who's not in form, and conditions will be different as well, right? So when you go to Australia, it's going to be a completely different ball game. West Indies might come back into play because they like the ball coming on. I don't think they like their own conditions. They prefer Australia, South Africa, India. So these conditions might suit them as well. New Zealand is always a good shout.
You said Pakistan playing England with 7 T20s?
7 T20s in Pakistan. Ashish is saying hopefully Kohli scores rather than hundreds. We need him in form, scoring 50 plus scores. 100 will come, inshallah. Yes, that's a very good point. I think 100 in T20 is not as easy to get for anybody.
Yes,
if he gets a few 70s in the Asia Cup, it will be brilliant. And starting off on the 28th, if he can start off with the bang, then why not? But for me, the biggest positive is that he's bought into the Rohit Sharma idea. He's going and he's attacking. He's going to play aggressive cricket, and it shows that they're going to play as a team. So no matter, that's why I think if they won that England series, and in England, it wasn't an easy series to win, but they bought into that idea. They backed the captain and they played aggressive cricket, and they're going to lose games. They're going to lose games in the Asia Cup. I don't think they'll be as clinical as they were in the last Asia Cup. I might be wrong, but also in the World Cup, I think they will lose games because the approach is different now. They're playing high-risk cricket. So you saw against West Indies, they lost a T20 against a very poor West Indies team. Expected them to win 5-0, but they lost a T20 because of the style that they're playing. And it's going to take time to cement the style. And even when you cement it, you will lose matches. England lost, remember, to Sri Lanka in the World Cup, the one which they won. So it's going to take some. It's a high-risk kind of thing, but it's a good shout. And good to see players being put in different roles in different times. So I think I like that as well from Rohit Sharma. So I think that's
that wraps it up. It's been a nice long podcast. So quite a decent bit of engagement. I think with Ashish, Vinay, Abubakar, Tissue Box. Thank you all for your guys' comments. But I think this is a good talk for after a while. I think most of the points we agreed with each other on.
Most of the points we agreed except for Dinesh Karthik, Ravi Ashwin, and the extra pacer situation.
And that's a lot of points.
But I think that pretty much wraps it up. Your favorites for the Asia Cup, India, you're saying, right? Honestly, I feel that Afghanistan might be in the final this time. And
Afghanistan is losing to Ireland right now, bro. They continuously losing to Ireland right now.
Where is that game? Where is that match?
I'm not
Don,
sure.
Where is that match? Huh?
I'm not 100% sure where it's. I think it's in...
They're playing in the Asia Cup in Belfast. They're playing in Dubai and Sharjah, buddy. It's different. Rashid Khan, Mujib, these guys will go crazy, man. The ball will turn. I always say that, with Afghanistan, I always give them a chance. And they were pretty close, in the last Asia Cup and even in the World Cup against Pakistan, if it wasn't for that...
as early sixes, yep.
And even in 2019 World Cup, you remember it was Wahab Riaz who gave it like 2-3 sixes in the end.
Yeah, true.
India a tough time as well. But Don, I think that's indicated. It's late now, and we will hopefully get
yawning. I'm just hungry. My old soul is starting to creep up.
It's pretty late here as well, so we'll wrap it up. I think it was good to have you on after a long time. It's been a week, so a good fresh face on the show, some really good points, and hopefully I will catch you soon. I'm really looking forward to the Asia Cup, bro.
Of course, I'm also looking really forward to it. How many more days? You have some days though, 15 days left.
Until then, enjoy Arsenal, enjoy the new front three and everything, and best of luck in your FPL.
Thanks. I tell you to enjoy United, but I know better.
I have more chance of triple captaining, flipping, what's his name, Solanke, and getting like 20 points than United winning a game these days, man. That's what's happening. But Solanke, man, from Bournemouth. Best of luck for that. So enjoy FPL until the Asia Cup, and then let's enjoy the cricket as it comes. And plenty to look forward to. Thank you so much, man.
Take care.